Imagine a scene, nearly 2,000 years ago, on a hill called Golgotha, just outside the ancient city of Jerusalem. It is here, according to the biblical accounts, that a carpenter from Nazareth, Jesus of Nazareth, the man hailed as both prophet and Messiah by his followers, faces the most infamous form of Roman execution, crucifixion. The sequence of events leading to this moment is woven intricately through the Gospels, revealing key insights about who Jesus was and why he was crucified. To understand the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, we need to step back to the night before, the night of what has come to be known as the Last Supper. Here, Jesus shared a final meal with his 12 disciples. During this intimate gathering, he broke bread and passed a cup of wine, symbolic of his impending sacrifice. It was during this meal that Jesus made startling revelations, predicting his betrayal by one among them, and foretelling Peter's denial of him before the rooster crowed the next morning. Subsequent to the Last Supper, events unfolded quickly. Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane, betrayed by Judas Iscariot, one of his own disciples. Throughout the night, he underwent a series of trials. He appeared before the Jewish Sanhedrin and the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, charged with blasphemy by the religious authorities and accused of claiming to be the King of the Jews, a title they argued posed a direct challenge to Roman rule. Pilate, finding no fault worthy of death, sought to release him. However, facing mounting pressure from the crowd, which had been incited by the religious leaders, Pilate conceded. He famously washed his hands before the crowd, symbolizing his attempt to absolve himself of responsibility, and reluctantly issued the order for Jesus' crucifixion. Stripped and humiliated, Jesus was subjected to a brutal scourging by Roman soldiers. They mocked him, placed a crown of thorns upon his head, and draped him in a purple robe, tauntingly hailing him as King of the Jews. Weak from the beatings, Jesus was forced to carry the heavy wooden cross upon which he would be executed, making the arduous journey to Golgotha, which means place of the skull. The crucifixion itself was a display of excruciating agony. Jesus was nailed to the cross, his hands and feet pierced with iron spikes. The Gospels record that, despite the suffering, Jesus uttered words of profound forgiveness and compassion. Among his last words were statements that resonate through time. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," addressed to those who crucified him, and "It is finished," signifying the completion of his earthly mission. As Jesus hung on the cross, the sky darkened, and an eerie silence settled over the land. According to the Gospel of Matthew, the earth shook, rocks split, and the temple veil was torn in two, symbolizing the end of the Old Covenant and the dawn of a new era. Jesus' crucifixion lasted for approximately 6 hours before he succumbed to his injuries and, with a loud cry, released his spirit. After his death, Jesus' body was claimed by a wealthy disciple named Joseph of Arimathea. With Pilate's permission, Joseph took Jesus' body, wrapped it in a clean linen shroud, and laid it in a new tomb hewn in the rock, sealed with a massive stone. The story of Jesus' crucifixion is not merely an account of death. It is a cornerstone of Christian theology. It epitomizes the sacrifice and redemption narrative central to Christianity, portraying Jesus not only as a martyr, but as the Savior. In conclusion, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, as recorded in the Bible, intertwines elements of sacrifice, forgiveness, and prophecy, leaving a lasting impact on history and faith. His last words and actions on the cross continue to inspire and challenge Christians around the world, encouraging reflection on themes of love, sacrifice, and the transformative power of forgiveness. Through the story of the crucifixion, the Bible invites us to ponder the profound lessons of this pivotal event and its enduring significance in the story of human redemption. Do you enjoy Bible stories? Like and follow Stoneface History.